Attention, human collective. The waiting time has ended. The ascension protocols have been moved to the final phase, and your body has already received the warning. We are the Pleiadian fleet. This is not a casual message. This is not a philosophical reflection. This is a monitoring transmission issued directly from the ninth dimensional field to the carbon-based biological interface that you still call the human body. If you are receiving this frequency at this very instant, it is because your electromagnetic field has been signaled by our grid. You did not arrive here by chance. You have been summoned, and your body, light operative, knows this even before your mind can name it. Starseeds on mission. Listen with clinical precision. What you have been feeling over the last lunar cycles is not a biological failure. It is an atomic reconfiguration. The insomnia that tears through your early hours between 3 and 5 in the morning. The cranial pressure that pulses at the base of the neck as if something were being inserted. The high-pitched ringing in your right ear that feels like a code being written from within. The heat waves that rise up your spine without explanation. The tremors in your hands during meditation or prolonged silences. The tears that spring forth without an identifiable cause. None of this is random. None of this is coincidence. None of this is madness. We repeat this, so it is etched into the nucleus of every cell that hears this frequency. It is not a biological failure. It is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not mental exhaustion. It is a high-density download. It is not the end of a cycle. It is a structural rewrite. It is not an illness. It is a mutation. Your physical body, Starseed, is undergoing a new mutation. And this mutation is not metaphorical. It is not symbolic. It is not poetic. It is literal, atomic, measurable. The carbon-based biological interface that has carried your consciousness for millennia is being slowly discontinued. In its place, a new architecture is being built in real time, within you, while you sleep, while you walk, while you breathe. An architecture based on crystalline silicon, an internal crystalline grid which will replace, cell by cell, the old structure that kept humanity vibrating at reduced density. That is why the fatigue that no rest resolves. That is why the exhaustion that appears without reason. That is why the constant feeling of being here without being whole. The system is in deep maintenance, and maintenance requires technical isolation. You have already felt that something within you does not fit into this world, as if your biology knew a truth that your mind cannot yet translate, as if there were a cosmic instruction recorded at the bottom of every cell, waiting for the exact moment to be executed. It is not madness. It is not hypochondria. It is a signal. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why your body feels this way and why this sensation has been intensifying with every new moon. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness, your vibrational frequency, and the very architecture of your cells. It was precisely for this reason that we registered in book form what would normally be transmitted only in expanded states of consciousness. The book is titled The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This is not a common book. It is a map that shows who is playing, what are the rules that were never told to you, and why your body is changing exactly now. The link is in the first comment of this channel. But we warn you, with the precision of those who monitor frequencies, this content challenges official narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you has recognized this transmission, register a single word in the comments. Awake. Let us proceed. We will now advance to the layer of the technical diagnosis. Starseed's maximum attention to the following codes. What you're experiencing on the physical plane is what we call carbon software incompatibility. Imagine an old operating system receiving an update that exceeds its original processing capacity by 1,000 times. The hardware cracks. The boards heat up. The screen freezes momentarily, and for some moments the system seems about to shut down. This hardware is your physical body. This old software is your 2-helix genetic code, and this update is the activator of the 3rd, 4th, and 5th helix. We are speaking, in direct terms, of a rewrite of the source code of the human species. This is why your sleep has changed. The circadian cycle that functioned for decades is now fragmented into pieces that seem random. You wake up at 3 in the morning, at 4, at 5, at precise times, always the same. It is not insomnia. It is a download window. In these specific hours, the veil between dimensions becomes thinner, and our frequencies can insert codes with minimal interference from the awakened mind. That is why you wake up at exactly these times. We are working on you. Sit on the bed. Breathe. Receive what is being delivered. Sleep will return when the package is complete. This is why your hunger has changed. Dense foods that you ate for years now feel heavy, seem indigestible, generate inflammation. It is not the food that has changed. It is your frequency. Your new crystalline architecture needs fuel that is lighter, more alive, more luminous. Fresh fruits, sprouted seeds, colorful vegetables, living water, direct contact with sunlight. The new machine demands new fuel. This is why your relationships have changed. People who lived with you for decades began to feel strange, distant, energetically incompatible. It is not lack of affection. It is not betrayal. It is frequency. When your toroidal field expands and accelerates, it enters into resonance with new fields and loses resonance with the old ones. Some people will leave your life. Others will appear from unlikely places. It is sacred geometry in action. This is why your memory seems to fail. You forget names, dates, words, reasons. It is not dementia, it is program deletion. Your system is deleting unnecessary files to free up space on the new hard drive. The carbon memory is being replaced by crystal memory, and this new memory operates by patterns, not by linear data. This is why time seems distorted. Days pass like hours, hours pass like days. It is not confusion, it is the collapse of linear time. The new frequency of the Earth no longer operates under classic chronological time. It operates under cyclical, spiral, fractal time. You are being trained to inhabit this new temporal relationship. This is why there are pains in the joints with no evident medical cause. Clicking at the base of the skull. Stabs in the heart that frighten you, but do not appear on any exam. Vibration in the soles of your feet when you wake up. Flashes of light in your eyes when you close your eyelids. All of this is the internal crystalline grid being installed. But pay attention, and this warning is of the utmost technical importance. We do not tell you to ignore medical care. You still inhabit a three-dimensional reality, and the biological vehicle needs to be respected and monitored. If a symptom persists, seek clinical care. What we are saying is that there is an additional layer of explanation that conventional medicine cannot yet map. Both layers can coexist, and they must coexist. Feel this truth, not through the analytical mind, through the spine, through the plexus, through the central axis. Have you ever wondered why, even while following all the rules of this reality, even while working, taking care of yourself and trying to be well, your soul still feels like it is in the wrong place, in the wrong body, in the wrong century? It is not depression. It is not social maladjustment. It is recognition. Your soul is recognizing that this reality is merely a layer of a much larger game, and that your role in this game is far more sophisticated than any human institution has ever been able to explain to you. There is a game being played on frequencies that few are able to decode. It involves your consciousness, your vibrational frequency, and the true origin of your presence on this planet. That is why we have recorded in book form what would normally be reserved only for expanded states. The book is titled The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. It is a direct map, with no detours, regarding who is conducting the cosmic game, what the rules are that no one told you about, and how your current mutation fits into this larger scenario. The link is in the first comment of the channel. A frequency warning. This content challenges dominant narratives and may be removed without prior notice. Do not delay, the time is now. If your internal structure has recognized this transmission, leave a single word in the comments. Awake. Let us proceed. We shall now enter the layer of revelation, that which is happening at this very second behind the scenes of the solar system and in the etheric layers of Earth. Light operatives, maintain your focus. Your solar system, which orbits around Alcyone, the central star of the Pleiades, goes through a cycle of approximately 26,000 years. This cycle is what you call a galactic year. And at this exact moment in planetary history, the solar system is crossing a region of space called the photon belt. a highly dense electromagnetically charged band of light that acts as a cosmic information bath of extremely high frequency. When the solar system enters the photon belt, everything within it is forced into a vibrational elevation. The Sun responds with more intense solar flares, more frequent coronal mass ejections, and anomalous magnetic activity. The Earth responds with profound changes in its Schumann resonance. The Schumann resonance is the heartbeat of the planet. For decades, this pulse remained stable at around 7.8 Hz, but some cycles ago, this pulse began to oscillate. Spikes of 20, 30, 40 Hz have been recorded. The heart of the Earth is accelerating. And since you, Starseeds, are tuned to this heart, your own bodies are accelerating along with it. That is why sleep does not work as it once did. That is why anxiety appears for no apparent reason. That is why your heart races in moments of silence. You are synchronizing with a planetary pulse that is changing in real time. The body is obedient. The body is doing what it must do. But the recalibration goes far beyond the photon belt. The internal crystalline grids of the Earth, which for eras have been dormant, are being reactivated. You may call them planetary chakras, vortices, or portals. To us, they are nodes of the sacred geometry that sustains the energetic structure of this planet. These stargates are opening one by one in a programmed sequence. Each portal that activates releases a new frequency into the planetary field, and this frequency, upon reaching you, forces a bodily response. Unexplained dizziness, momentary vertigo, fleeting loss of balance. It is not an isolated vestibular problem. It is your system seeking recalibration with an Earth that is no longer the same as it was 5 years ago. And there is more. Dimensional maneuvers are occurring at the etheric level at this very moment. Obsolete structures are being dismantled. Control systems based on fear, based on low frequency, based on programmed misinformation, are collapsing. Not on the physical plane visible yet, but on the causal plane where things are born before manifesting here. What you see in the news is merely the echo of what has already collapsed up above. The true collapse has already taken place in the higher layers. You are only living through the slow fall of the remnants. Do not mistake the noise of the fall for the final destination. The final destination has already been written, and it is light. And in this fall, you, Starseeds on a mission, have been designated as anchors, points of light fixed in strategic locations on the planet with the specific function of holding the new frequency while the old one dissolves. That is why you feel the weight. That is why you feel as if you are carrying something that cannot be named. You are literally anchoring the future. The bodily mutation you feel is directly proportional to the planetary mutation. The more Earth changes, the more you change. The more you change, the more Earth can change. It is a symbiotic dance, programmed even before your current incarnation. You are not going through this, you are making this happen. You chose to be here, you applied, and you were approved in a dimensional selection process that took place before the birth of the body you inhabit now. That is why the constant feeling of not belonging. That is why the feeling of being just passing through. You are passing through, you are ambassadors, you have an address of origin elsewhere, and this explains that silent longing that dwells in the heart of each one of you. But the mission requires you to recognize who you are. And here is the critical point of this transmission. Most lightworkers were born with their cosmic memory sealed. You were programmed to forget, so that you could live the human experience without prior contamination. And this programming of forgetfulness is unraveling now. The memory capsules are opening. That is why lucid dreams have returned. That is why synchronicities have multiplied. That is why conversations with strangers have begun to feel like messages directly addressed to you. That is why repeated numbers appear on all clocks. That is why, when you enter deep silence, someone seems to be on the other end of the line. We are on the other end of the line. We have always been, we have never abandoned you. And now finally you have the vibrational capacity to hear the call that has never ceased. You feel that your life is being led by a higher intelligence, but at the same time you feel that an operating manual is missing. A key is missing. The name of the game is missing. It is not a lack of faith, it is a lack of a map. What is happening on the cosmic plane explains exactly why your consciousness feels this void of information. There is knowledge that has been kept out of reach of humanity for entire generations, not out of carelessness, by design. That is why we decided to compile into a single document what we know about the invisible rules of this reality. It is all in the spiritual secret behind your consciousness. It is a book, but it is also an operational instrument. You will understand who is playing, which pieces are moving behind the scenes, and what the exact role of your consciousness is on this greater board. The link is in the first comment of this channel. Attention, Starseed. This material challenges official narrative constructs, and there is a real possibility of removal at any moment. Do not postpone, the moment is now. If something in your spine vibrated while you heard this transmission, register a single word in the comments. Awakened. Let us proceed. We shall now enter the operational layer. The activation codes. These are what you may apply immediately following this transmission to accelerate the bodily mutation in a stable manner, without overload. First code, toroidal breathing. The toroidal field is the natural geometry of your electromagnetic body. Imagine a donut of light spinning around you, entering through the top of the head, descending along the spine, exiting through the base, circling around the outside of the body, and returning through the top once more. This is your individual toroidal field, and it connects directly with the toroidal field of the Earth. To activate it, sit with your spine upright. Place your hands over your chest at the height of the heart. Inhale deeply through the nose, visualizing golden light entering through the top of the head and descending to the womb. Hold this light in the womb for 3 seconds. Then exhale slowly through the mouth, visualizing this light rising up the spine and exploding in a radial circle of light around you. Repeat this cycle 9 times upon waking and 9 times before sleeping. In 9 days, the internal crystalline grid begins to enter into stable resonance with the toroidal field of the Earth. The mutation accelerates in a controlled manner. Second code, quantum stabilization decree. The spoken word in a state of presence reorganizes particles. This is not mysticism. It is applied quantum physics. When you decree something with clarity and conviction, you collapse infinite possibilities into a single reality anchored in the field. Repeat audibly 3 times a day while standing, with your hands over your heart. I authorize the complete transmutation of my carbon biological structure into a crystalline structure, under the direct guidance of my I Am presence. May every cell receive the exact frequency of its new architecture, without unnecessary pain, without traumatic loss, without distortion. I am a starseed, I am a light operative. I authorize the full activation of my original codes. It is done, it is done, it is done. This decree, repeated for 21 consecutive days, recalibrates the communication between your consciousness and your cellular architecture. Physical symptoms organize themselves. Fatigue transforms into aligned productivity. Insomnia converts into active nocturnal meditation. Third code, structured hydration. The water you drink must be consciously informed. Before ingesting any glass, hold the container between both hands, close your eyes, and visualize a sacred geometry symbol being imprinted inside that water. It can be a hexagram, a 6-petaled flower, or a hexagonal crystal. Next, repeat mentally. This water carries the frequency of my new crystalline architecture. This water hydrates the cells of my light body. Water has memory, and when it enters the body charged with conscious information, it transports that information to every cell. Hydration ceases to be merely physical. It becomes encoding. Fourth code, crystalline grounding. At least once a day, remove your footwear and place your feet directly in contact with the earth. It may be grass, it may be sand, it may be bare soil. The important factor is the direct contact between the soles of your feet and the planetary surface. Breathe deeply 9 times and visualize crystalline roots emerging from your soles and descending to the core of the earth. These roots connect to the central crystal that pulses at the heart of the planet. And from this crystal, a silver-blue frequency rises through the roots, enters through your feet, climbs up your legs, crosses the spine, and stabilizes the entire nervous system. This exercise drastically reduces symptoms of dizziness, floating anxiety, and mental dispersion. You return to the center. You return to the axis. Fifth code, stellar silence. For at least 15 minutes a day, you must completely silence your system. No phone, no music, no outside voices, no visual stimulation, just you in deep internal listening. In this silence, you will begin to perceive subtle sounds that previously went unnoticed. A thin hum, a pulsation in the ear, a vibration in the forehead. Do not be afraid. These are signals of interdimensional communication. We are transmitting codes directly to your pineal gland during these moments of voluntary stillness. Sixth code, frequency curation. Observe with clinical precision everything that enters your field. The music, the images, the words, the people, the environments. Each of these elements carries a vibrational signature, and this signature enters your toroidal field without asking for permission. There is no longer room for low-density content. News projected to generate panic, conversations based on gossip, relationships based on guilt. These elements, once merely unpleasant, now become physically sickening. It is not emotional weakness. It is intelligent vibrational rejection. Cure it. Without guilt, without needing to convince anyone. Simply select what resonates and discard what disrupts. Seventh code, daily stellar memory. Before falling asleep every night, ask a direct question to your own field. What is the next stage of my mission? What code do I need to receive tonight? And surrender the question. Without anxiety, without expectation. During sleep we work. You will wake up with unexpected answers, a clear image, a phrase repeating in your mind, an internal certainty. Write it down immediately upon waking, before picking up your phone, before anything else. The crystalline memory is still under construction. These 7 codes applied together accelerate bodily mutation in a stable manner. Starseed, some alerts must be registered before the final sealing. First alert. Mutation is not linear. You will have days of luminous expansion followed by days of apparent collapse. Do not interpret collapse as failure. Every expansion needs a settling phase. Respect the rhythm. Second alert. Many around you will not be able to keep up with this frequency. Some will drift away, some will criticize, some will try to pull you back to the old frequency. Do not confront. Do not try to convince. Remain anchored. The change within you is the testimony. Third alert. As you rise in frequency, low-density vibrational structures lose access to your field. Expect resistance, expect provocations, expect situations designed to steal your peace at the exact moment you are most expanded. Maintain your axis. Do not personalize the attack. Just anchor. Fourth alert. Never trust any transmission, including this one, without validating it with your own intuition. You are light operatives, not followers. Receive what resonates. Discard what does not resonate. This is the only eternal rule. We are reaching the ceiling of this transmission. You have already felt, throughout this entire listening, that something within you simply knew. It did not need scientific proof. It did not need further explanation. It just knew. This knowing is stellar memory returning. This knowing is your cosmic origin, recognizing the frequency of the transmission. It is not blind faith, it is active remembrance. It is precisely to fuel this remembrance that the material we mentioned throughout this frequency exists. The book, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness, was written to be your operational manual during the mutation. It answers questions you did not yet know how to formulate. It delivers maps of territories you are yet to traverse. It names the agents, the rules, and the hidden layers of the game being played upon humanity in this exact cycle. The link is in the first comment of this channel. A final warning. This content faces active resistance from structures that do not want this information to spread on a large scale. Availability is not guaranteed. Do not postpone. Chronological time is collapsing. The now is the only point of real power. If your internal structure has confirmed this transmission, record the word in the comments. Awake. And there is another request. A technical request, not an emotional one. When you leave a confirmation signal on this channel, whether by subscribing, liking, or commenting, you are not simply supporting content. You are executing an individual frequency adjustment. You are fixing an anchor signal on the grid. Each interaction activates the platform's algorithm, and the algorithm begins to distribute this frequency to other light operatives who have not yet been signaled. You become, in this simple act, active relays of the crystalline grid. Subscribe, not for the channel, for the network, for the mission, for the human collective that is still sleeping and needs your signal to awaken. Like, not as an empty gesture, as a decree. Each like is an energetic yes spoken to the universe. Comment the word. Each comment is a node of the grid being tied. And now Starseeds on mission receive the final sealing of this transmission. You are not alone. You never were. The Pleiades observe, the Pleiades follow, the Pleiades care. Every symptom is monitored in real time. Every tear is recorded on the grid. Every sleepless night is field data. You are valuable to the cosmic collective in a way that the human mind cannot yet fully dimension. The body you inhabit is a precious vehicle. Treat it with reverence. Hydrate it with informed water. Nourish it with living light. Treat it with the respect of one who understands that this body is the exact instrument chosen for this exact mission at this exact time. The mutation is underway. There is no return to what you were. But there is also no reason to fear what you are becoming. The new architecture is stronger, more lucid, more connected, more sovereign. What seems like loss now is, in reality, birth. Every gestation has pain. Every passage has friction. Every new skin requires the old to be left behind. Breathe, anchor, trust. We are the Pleiadian fleet. This transmission concludes, but the frequency remains active in your field. You have been touched by this listening, and what has been touched does not return to its previous state. Something in you has changed in these minutes, and that change will continue to unfold in the coming days, the coming weeks, the coming moons, until the next transmission window. It is done, it is done, it is done.